The previous conversation that we looked at was done by a colleague who is familiar with video games. This conversation was done with a colleague who is less familiar with video games, and we see some other things going wrong here, which I found very insightful. I'll first walk through the entire conversation, and then we'll discuss what exactly is going wrong. Now, the first thing that the user is asking is, how do I find the door? The intent inventory got detected, albeit with a low confidence level, but in this case we are not exactly failing elegantly. What's happening here is that we are replying by saying that there are no items in the inventory, and then the user seems confused because the user is asking where to find the inventory. And because this is a user not familiar with adventure games, at this point it would have been way better if there was some sort of way where we could explain what an inventory system even is. And now that I think about it, at the moment we've got a help command, but the user is unaware that it's possible to use that help command. We don't really have an introductory flow for people who don't know how to play this game. And you see that in this next question too. The user is not saying to look at the window, the user is asking if it can look at the window. To me, that suggests that the user still doesn't know how this game is supposed to be played. And if we scroll down a little bit, we see it happen again later. Here the user again is saying, I found the cardboard box, but can I open it? Again indicating this insecurity on how to play the game. And if I were to scroll all the way back up again to how this conversation starts, it occurs to me that perhaps the right way to deal with this is to maybe over here offer the user some help. Something like, hey, if you're unfamiliar with these kinds of games, notify me and I will help you with some hints for the first few commands that you can type. That way the user can indicate if they're unfamiliar, but also it gives us an opportunity to guide the user into an enjoyable way of playing the game as it's meant to. This user in particular doesn't seem to be aware of the help command, and that's a bummer. The experience can be made way better if at least the user's aware of such a command, because that way they can move on.